Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Pearl and you're watching Pearl's Polaroid. Maybe watching this will give you some motivation to tackle your day even if you feel really unproductive from the start. One tip I have to share with you is to note down anything that pops up into your head while you're studying in a little book or a post-it note so you do not forget them, and so your mind is just free from any distractions and you can focus on the task at hand. So I've got this little notebook and let me show you my spread for May. So here it is. So I've got quite a few things. I use a star when it's academic related and a moon symbol when it is non-academic related. As you can see here, I've got little stars and also little moons. It's a pretty handy system. Now that that's out of the way, let me show you how I take my notes. On a lazy day, it is pretty hard to take really elaborate, fancy notes. Although I love making my notes pretty, I also recognize that it is not the most practical thing to do when you're already feeling down. So what I have been doing these days is when I am feeling unproductive, I will make my active recall questions in the Cornell notes format. Usually how I prefer to take my notes would be whatever material I'm referencing, I would spend a lot of time and put in a lot of effort, which is just not possible on a lazy day. What I do instead is I just take the Cornell note format, skip the summary part, just do the question part. So currently I'm doing a course. So in the notebook that I dedicated for this course, I use the active recall system the most, and Cornell Notes comes very handy for that. This is a pretty chill way to take notes. It's not very time intensive or doesn't take much effort. You just have to draw a line, have the left side to be a little bit smaller than the right side, write your questions and answers while going through your learning material. It is so much more helpful than the traditional way of taking notes because you would not really be able to test yourself when the questions and answers are just going in the normal up to down method. Just yesterday I actually had to write a test and I was really panicking. I just didn't feel prepared at all, and luckily I had these notes prepared earlier, so I quickly went through and tested myself 2-3 times. I felt so much better and so much more prepared. So yeah, Cornell Note Method's taking system is so good. You should give it a go. Another thing I do is to study the fun subjects on my lazy days. Of course, when you do the harder subjects, like for me it's maths, you wouldn't be enthusiastic to do your work or your practice questions. But if you're choosing some of your favorite subjects, you will be more inclined to spend more time on it and put more effort into it. Because when you're not really into it while you're studying, it can become like you're just staring at the textbook. Oftentimes on our lazy days, we have already wasted away the first few precious hours of our day. What could have been a pretty productive day has turned into a half productive day. The best thing you can do is to at least find something to do that day. Maybe finishing up some practice questions on your fun subject, because that way you won't feel too much pressure. If you try to tackle your difficult subject on a day like this, I'm sure it'll be very, very tedious and time consuming. So maybe that wouldn't be the best approach. One thing that could help you would be to get an accountability partner. You can ask your mom or dad, or maybe a good friend of yours who's studying the same subject as you, and you can ask them to keep you accountable when you get lazy and when you forget about your tasks. That way you wouldn't really have to worry too much about really keeping yourself accountable. When you get distracted or lazy, your friend, your accountability partner will help you out and tell you to get back on track. You could even ask your accountability partner to study with you, either the subject you are doing or something else that they're studying, because that way you will feel more motivated to get your tasks done. For me personally, it is really helpful to have a study buddy with me. So if you've gotten motivation now, I recommend you go and use the tips in this video, and I hope I made some impact in your day. Bye bye.